Hey, this is Lee with Pop Evil, and you're watching Rock Talk with Rock Source.
We catch up today with one of the hard-working, hard-rocking band. They've been touring extensively in support of their latest album, and today we'll kick off a Canadian headlining tour. We welcome Lee from Pop Evil.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be back in the motherland here.
Thanks for taking the time with us here today.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on the release of your self-titled 5th LP. We've certainly played it over and over, and it rocks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
We can really tell that you worked hard on it. How did it feel to get this one released?
This one was a bit of a, what do you call it? A work of love. You know, it started I think in Los Angeles, the demo process. Then we demoed more in Michigan, and you know, it was about a little over a year we finally spent just writing the record and really putting those fine-tuning things on the albums that we haven't been able to do really in the past. So it's a special album for us. So it feels great to finally have it out.
Do you have one particular song on the album that actually stands out to you?
Well, no, I mean, we like all the songs, of course, you know, but they all, I think, mean different things to all of us. But, of course, the first single, Waking Lions, felt like it was that song that could empower other people to kind of get out of their house or get out of bed and hopefully try to do something positive with their lives. You know, trying to find that inner fire is something that we all have to do. And especially where I think rock and roll and metal are in this climate and music today, it's important to stay motivated and to get out there and fight.
What is the coolest thing to happen to you so far while on the road? Is there one thing that stands out saying that was just awesome?
Man, there's so many things that stand out. I think every day there's something cool, or it seems like every week or every month. I think right now the thing that we're just buzzing on is that our single for Footsteps, an album ago, just went gold here in Canada. So that's pretty special. It's been a kind of a personal mission for me to, you know, get the band here to Canada. It's been a bit of a grind to make this happen over the past 10 years, but finally to see that and to have that single go gold, it's been it's definitely been rewarding to see the growth here, and hopefully we continue to expand and we get to come back more and more and start that Pop Evil family. Let's do it.
You're just about to start a Canadian headlining tour today right here in Toronto, our Rock Source home base. The Canadian crowd certainly embraced Pop Evil. How does it feel to play in your home country?
It's a special feeling, you know, with so many family and friends here, and of course new friends that we're meeting every day and every time we get a chance to play Canada. It's a special country that still prides itself in live entertainment, live music, especially rock and metal. It's very important to people here. It's you know, I think when you come from the U.S., there's that old phrase, rock and roll is dead. But when you come up here to Canada, it's very much alive and thriving. So it's an honor, and it's something we don't take lightly every chance we get to come tour here. So hopefully we continue to do so for many years to come. Touching
on the rock is dead, we've heard that quite a bit. What do you have to say say to the naysayers?
Yeah, well, we're very much a living, breathing, rocking entity that proves that it is very much alive. And there's lots of bands like us. We got one on this tour with us, Royal Tusk. They're great guys as well, grinding, and you just got to work a little harder. The flash, the fame, and the money isn't there, and you shouldn't be in it for that reason anyways. I mean, we got into this to play shows, and you know, every year since 2004, we've been playing 200 shows a year. So I mean, we're already winning that battle. It's just about getting out there and exposing your music live on stage. There's one thing that never dies. It's proving it to your fan base on stage every night. So that's what we try to focus on.
This past summer, I actually saw you on tour with Poison and Cheap Trick.
Yes, great tour.
A couple of legendary bands who've been at it for many years. So here we have the classic rock element together with the newer blood of Pop Evil, although granted you've been around for 10 years.
Right.
And it coexists nicely. How did that work out for you guys?
Probably the tour. I don't think there'll ever be a better tour than this one. You know, I mean, Cheap Trick had us out performing with them, and Poison had us out performing. It was a Pop Evil showcase. You couldn't ask for better. And the way they kind of embraced not only us, but the way they embraced the youth and that younger energy that is rock and metal is, you know, kudos to both those bands for understanding that in order to keep growing and paving the way that they built, they care about the bands of the future and the generations still to come. So to bring us out so their fans could bring their kids and maybe hear something that they might hear on the radio, but still fall in love with the bands that their parents like. I mean, Poison and Cheap Trick, there's a reason they've been around for 30 plus years. They're incredible musicians, but more importantly, they're just great people. And to get an opportunity to know those guys both on and off the stage, it was a special tour that one that we'll soon not forget. It was incredible, and we miss it, man. We miss those guys. We love them.
I actually saw quite a few parents bringing their kids to the shows, and
Absolutely.
it was great. I
Yeah.
loved seeing the younger generation.
Seeing those little kids with their
Yep.
horns up, there's nothing more contagious than that.
What's that like, seeing that from stage? Seeing these little 4 and 5 year olds.
It's inspiring, you know. It makes you get out there. That's basically that's your bank account filling up, right? That's the fame that you see. It's seeing those little kids like, you know, liking a song that dad and mom like. You know, you think about that when we were little. You know, when you first liked a song that your mom and dad liked, or they liked one you liked, that's a special bond that you have. And be able to go to concerts and live shows with parents, it's something that you can do your whole life. So it's again, I like to kind of give the analogy to golf, right? Golf is a sport you can continue to play as long as you stay healthy into your, into grandparents. You know, whether you're either a grandma or grandpa, you can still play golf or sit in a cart, drink a cold one. So can you with rock and roll. You grow up, rock and roll is about lifestyle. It's about people that grow with you, and they don't just abandon you if you had a hit or if you had a song that was a stiff. They're with you your whole career, and they absolutely do everything they can to support you from the ground up. So it was an honor to see those young kids doing the same thing and smiling back and putting their horns in the air. It's a special feeling.
As a band, what drives you? What inspires you and keeps you going, and how do you keep it on the rails and moving forward?
That's it, the fans, you know? I mean, I think in this day and age of social media, there's so much hate and there's so much negativity that everyone's got a voice now, and some people, you really don't care about their voice, right? It's a little bit too much. But the good thing about it all is everyone has a voice, and their way to follow your favorite bands. I mean, they can see if we're into M&Ms or Smarties today, you know what I mean? Like, what are you getting? They can see all those little details that make you, and they want to know more about bands now off the stage than they ever did. You know, you think about some of those great bands in the 90s and the 80s that we loved. They were mysterious. That was it. You saw them on stage, you never heard about them again, except for stories or rumors through the grapevine, through people, through friends. Now you can see what they're eating that day. You can see what restaurants they go to when they're in your city. What do they like? You know, and be able to have those relationships that, oh my gosh, I like that too. I go to that same restaurant. It's super cool to have that. And so you have to be a little bit more accepting that your fans want more than just music. They want the whole thing, and especially in rock and metal, they want to grow up with you. They want to know your failures. They want to know your successes, and they want to lift you up as much as bring you down. But that's part of it. You know, it's if you sometimes being brought down, you can write the best music in those situations. So being able to get out of that and get out of those trenches, so to speak, makes you who you are, and that's really what rock is. It's about not being afraid of the positives and negative effects that we deal with in everyday life. So we try to think about that as we write our songs. So that inspires us for the future.
As mentioned, we catch you here today in Toronto at the first day of your Canadian tour. The crowd should be good and rowdy. What do you want people to take away from seeing Pop Evil?
Just take away the live energy, the passion we have of just being us, just being natural. I think that's what makes rock great nowadays. We don't have to go be something we're not on stage. We're the same on and off the stage. We're great individually, but together there's a special thing that's worth seeing, and it's worth seeing Pop Evil live. We've been playing over 10 years together. We have such a chemistry that really comes through when you see Pop Evil live. That's what we're known for. That's where the energy is. The live show is certainly the Pop Evil signature. So hopefully they'll think of that when they leave and see us and tell 5 people, and then it'll grow and it'll keep getting bigger. And it's always great to come back to the greatest country for rock and roll. That's Canada. So
it
kudos.
Certainly is, especially Toronto.
Especially Toronto. You're absolutely right.
Now, if you had to describe each member in your band with one word, what would it be?
Love. That's it, all of them.
For every single one of them.
There's so much love and respect. I mean, I don't even think we're friends. We're like brothers and sisters.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't think we want to all hang out, but there's a love. I got your back, you got my back, and you see that on stage. Like even in the days that we might be arguing or we might not be getting along, which are very rare. We're all, older and mature in this business now to give each other space, give each other our distance. But when we do come together on stage, we know our roles, we know our positions. We're all starting 5. It's like a basketball team, right? We're like the Toronto Raptors this year, on fire. So you just kind of come down, you get each other's back, and you know your role, and you follow that to a T, and you put smiles on people's faces. That's what it's about.
That's all that matters. Is smiles.
All that matters, love.
Well, I want to thank you very much for taking some
Thank you.
your time. We
Yes,
can hear
my
the
pleasure.
sound check downstairs.
Sound check. I missed it. I skipped sound check for y'all, Toronto. There it is. They love y'all.
Perfect. All right, Rock Source friends, listen up. The latest album is self-titled Pop Evil and is available everywhere you get your rock music. Make sure to get your copy and make sure to get out and see the band when they hit your town. We have all the tour dates listed below. Thank you so much for doing this today. This is Dawn Hamilton for Rock Source Magazine.